Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration does a lot of good work, but unfortunately the work of their climate division is based largely around fraud. One of their top climate people and a key White House advisor has been banned by the National Academy of Sciences for research misconduct. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that I've been pointing out fraud from that agency for about 14 years. Last week they announced that July 2022 was third hottest on record for the United States. Now I'm going to show you how utterly absurd and outrageous that claim is. All of these graphs are created using NOAA's own data, the United States Historical Climatology Network. The three hottest Julys in the United States were 1936, 1901, and 1934. This July, afternoon temperatures ranked 34th hottest since 1895. Mean temperatures are the average of the afternoon high and the morning low, and they were 16th hottest since 1895. The percent of days above 90 degrees Fahrenheit during July was 44th highest, and the percent of stations which reached 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius was 84th highest since 1895. There isn't one shred of evidence to support their claim that July was third hottest on record. Hot weather in the United States peaked 90 years ago and has been generally declining ever since. Let's examine the data in more detail now by looking at individual states. July in Alabama was 23rd hottest on record. Arizona has been having historic amounts of rainfall, and July there was 88th hottest. Afternoon temperatures in Arkansas were 13th hottest. California was 49th hottest. Colorado had their 56th hottest July. Connecticut had their 74th hottest July. Delaware had their 69th hottest July. July in Florida was 34th hottest. Georgia had their 74th hottest July. Idaho had their 32nd hottest July. July temperatures in Illinois have plummeted, and they had their 98th hottest July. Same story in Indiana, where they had their 79th hottest July. July temperatures have also plummeted in Iowa over the last 90 years, and they had their 77th hottest July. Kansas had their 33rd hottest July. July in Kentucky was 46th hottest. Louisiana was 52nd hottest. July in Maine was 7th hottest. Maryland was 76th hottest. Massachusetts was 3rd hottest. July in Michigan was 80th hottest. July in Minnesota was 75th hottest. July in Mississippi was 34th hottest. July in Missouri was 31st hottest. July in Montana was 14th hottest. July in Nebraska was 63rd hottest. July in Nevada was 9th hottest. July in New Hampshire was 43rd hottest. July in New Jersey was 13th hottest. July in New Mexico was 17th hottest. July in New York was 45th hottest. July in North Carolina was 56th hottest. July in North Dakota was 69th hottest. July in Ohio was 71st hottest. July in Oklahoma was 7th hottest. July in Oregon was 36th hottest. July in Pennsylvania was 32nd hottest. The official records show that Rhode Island had their hottest July on record. This seems pretty improbable considering that their much larger next-door neighbor, Connecticut, was only 74th hottest. It appears that there's something seriously wrong with the Rhode Island data. July in South Carolina was 67th hottest. South Dakota had their 51st hottest July. Tennessee had their 29th hottest July. Texas had their 2nd hottest July. Utah had their 6th hottest July. Vermont had their 44th hottest July. Virginia had their 51st hottest July. Washington had their 7th hottest July. West Virginia had their 77th hottest July. Wisconsin had their 96th hottest July. And here in Wyoming we had our 22nd hottest July. Only 3 states had July temperatures ranking in the top 3. But somehow NOAA averaged together a whole bunch of large numbers and came up with a small number. This is U.S. government math at its finest. The best way to visualize NOAA's fraud, though, is to look at individual stations. The red dots in this map show locations which got over 100 degrees during July 2022. And the pink dots show stations which got over 110 degrees during July. As you can see, there wasn't a huge amount of very hot weather in the eastern half of the United States. Now let's compare July 2022 to July of 1936. During July of 1936, almost the entire United States experienced 100-degree temperatures, and a large portion also experienced 110 degrees. A number of states in the Great Plains, including North Dakota, got over 120 degrees. July of 1901 was also an extremely hot month, with 100-degree temperatures from California up into Maine. July of 1934 was almost as hot as July 1936, with 100-degree temperatures covering the country and 110-degree temperatures also over a large region. Similarly, July 1930 was incredibly hot. July 1931 was incredibly hot as well. This graph shows U.S. burn acreage every year since 1926. The two worst years for burn acreage in the United States were 1930 and 1931. Burn acreage so far this year has been 48th highest and about 90% lower than 1930 and 1931. This shouldn't be surprising because 1930 and 1931 were both extremely hot. And the low burn acreage so far this year shouldn't be a surprise either because there hasn't been a lot of really hot weather outside of the southern Great Plains. This graph plots average maximum U.S. summer temperature along the x-axis and burn acreage along the y-axis. Hot summers tend to have a lot of burn acreage, whereas cooler summers have less burn acreage. On the other hand, as carbon dioxide levels have increased in the atmosphere, burn acreage in the United States has plummeted. The press and a lot of Democratic politicians want people to believe that burn acreage is increasing because of the burning of fossil fuels, but the data shows the exact opposite. Now let's look at how NOAA created this fake news claiming that July was third hottest on record. Their thermometers showed that mean temperatures for July were 16th hottest. But they altered the data to turn 16th hottest into the 7th hottest. Their data tampering warms recent temperatures and cools past temperatures. This is what their graphs look like, which they released to the public, but the actual thermometer data shows something completely different. It isn't clear to me how they went from 7th hottest after data tampering to 3rd hottest, but they have their magical ways of doing things. This graph shows the amount of data tampering they're doing. The very hot July of 1901 has been cooled more than 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit, and July of 2022 has been increased by about half a degree Fahrenheit. This is a stunning hockey stick of fraud by the Biden administration. The next and final graph shows exactly what they're doing. Along the x-axis, this graph shows the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and along the y-axis is the amount of data tampering being done by NOAA. You can see that there's an almost perfect correlation between the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and the amount of data tampering being done by government agencies. What they're doing is they're altering the data to match their theory about the burning of fossil fuels, which is the exact opposite of what an actual scientist would do. A real scientist would alter the theory to match the data, not the other way around. Climate fraud is rampant in the U.S. government, and it's good to see one of the top perpetrators being called out. Toto has been pulling back the curtain on this fraud for the past 14 years. You can visit him, Kyrie Caesar, Toki and Upla on the web at realclimatescience.com.